Yo, what's up, guys? My name is Ethan Prosper, Prosper on Twitter, and I currently have my own group called Soul Mafia. It's an alpha group, 100% free. I don't charge a course. I trade in Pump Sad. I trade with like Jack Duval sometimes. I trade in Autos Cord. I kind of trade all around and try and do stages and trade publicly.
That's pretty cool. Now, for people who don't know you or your story, can you tell us a little bit about how you got into crypto?
Yeah, 100%. So I'll first start with what I used to do, which was sneakers. I was 13. I was reselling sneakers, and that's where I hit like almost my first six figures. I think I made like 80K. And I was buying and selling sneakers, doing sneaker botting. I used bots like CyberSoul, NBA, whatever. And then after a while, I kind of just went back to school, kind of just like stopped all the internet money stuff altogether and spent all that money on stupid shit like clubs and whatever. And then I went to college. I went to Fordham in New York, and I just dropped out actually. But I went to college, and that was doing all right. But like my family had some financial issues, and they couldn't actually afford to pay for my college anymore. And so I found myself in like a lot of debt. I was in like 30 or 40K debt, and then I took an extra 30 on top to finish my last semester of junior year. So I ended up with like $70,000 in debt in college, and I had no idea what to do. I had no direction. I was gonna like get some random finance job, and honestly, like it was just the math wasn't making any sense, right? I would have been getting paid like 5K a month just to end up paying an insane amount of taxes, not have any free time, and just like I was psyoped into that like 9 to 5 lifestyle. And then one day I was scrolling through X, and I was looking through like a bunch of different methods to try and get out. I was trying like AI influencers, dropshipping, whatever it was. Right after the Hawk Tuah rug pull, there was a coin called Straight to a Prison, and it made me chuckle, so I bought a little bit of it, and that was my first like 3x. And from then I just like fell into it. I was trading every day on Phantom, BullX, whatever, and yeah.
That's amazing to hear, and it's really amazing to see how far you've come as well. Can you tell us like when you started getting into the trenches?
Yeah, so after that like first coin, which was that Straight to a Prison, I ended up kind of trading on Photon, and I joined Potion, and I was like in these calls, listening to streamers like Jaden, whatever. And it was going all right, but it took a while like to kind of pick up. And yeah, I was just trading on BullX like normal, and I actually started making YouTube videos teaching people how to trade. I still do. I'm trying to do more IRL content and do a lot more like content in general. So check out my channel, Ethan Prosper. Like teaching people how to trade, and that's how I was actually learning and building up a port with refs, because I really started with like maybe 2-3 soul at most, and like you can go back to my old streams, and I was literally trading with like a 4 soul balance, and like now obviously over 200. So been pretty crazy.
That's really cool. Now we're gonna actually try a new segment. You're gonna be the first guest that we're trying this with. It's gonna be kind of like a speed question kind of round. So we'll start off with do you do size plays or new pairs?
New pairs.
What would you say is your best trade?
My best trade has probably been like a couple 20 to 30K cooks, like USD obviously. Another of them was like Elon with cheese. He like came out on stage with like an Elon a cheese like helmet, and that went like pretty high when he came on the live. Token I recently hit a little bit on. Reset, it was like a boomer coin.
Okay, very cool. And last one, longest session trenching.
Like 16 to 18 hours on live. I stream a lot, so you'll see like my average session is like 8 hours on live stream. That's my minimum.
That's a grind, man. It really is. Now, since our last interview, there's been a lot of changes. I think you've moved to Miami as well. So how's that been, since our last interview?
Yeah, so I think since our last interview, I had dropped out, maybe.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think I had just dropped out. And now like it was fully solidified. I was like, there's no going back. So I actually copped this apartment in Miami, and I've been grinding it out here for the past like month and a half now, and it's been great, man.
Looks amazing. Dope crib. How have the trenches been for you though, the past few months?
Honestly, pretty solid. I feel like I'm underperforming, even though I'm still, hitting my target. My target is around that 100K a month range, at least. Like if I'm doing that every month, I'm pretty happy. So I was able to, since then, since we last talked, 2x my port. Back then was probably around like 300K, and now we're at 600K plus. So it's been pretty cool. I got to meet some of my idols in real life. I did the vlog with Orangie. I saw him a few other times. His lifestyle of living in Miami, having like sauna, pool, like gym, all of that shit actually changes so much too. Like I'm just so much happier. I'm more motivated, and I've been able to meet some like crazy traders in real life who have made like multi millions, and like that shit's inspiring. It makes me feel like I'm poor and underperforming.
That's really cool to hear. I mean, I'm sure all those things are especially great for the mindset, and genuinely congratulations. You've worked extremely hard to be where you're at today. Now, to kind of touch on the trenches a little bit, sentiment's been a little bit weird lately. Market's kind of going down as well, and people are kind of switching to, or pivoting a little bit to like perps and alts. What do you think about everything going on right now?
So I think there's always going to be a place for Solana trenches. We've seen it before. We saw everyone migrate to BNB once. Like it's just happening again. And last time there was just as much volume. It was just as crazy pretty much. And it's crazy now. I think it's a good thing that people kind of like move around, try new things, experience like all different sides of crypto. I don't think Sol trenches are going anywhere. And if anything, Solana is still above $200. Last time we were talking, it was at 130. I really don't see a world where Solana trenches are completely dead in the next few months. I think that we're still here to stay. I think there's still, $10,000 a day opportunity in the space, which you can't really say that about any other like side hustle. You go on drop shipping, day trading, whatever, and like they don't show you P&Ls. Whereas like you can go on Coalscan and you'll see people making $10,000 a day. And you have ups and downs. So obviously this week we went down from 250, which was also almost at ATH. So pretty crazy already, down to 200. And it's like, that's fine. That's a swing. I mean, I hope most smart people probably stabled a little bit at 250,
Yeah, no, I agree. How do you feel about, CCM recently? And that whole streaming meta with Elon. Do you think it's kind of over, or do you think, they'll make a comeback in the future if they get things fixed?
I think CCM, at first I hated trading it. Like as a trader, I just don't like it. However, as someone who's like looking into like, onboarding more people, what could work out for people just who like want to come and trade more, I think it's actually a really good thing. I think it's probably here to stay, but it's going to kind of just be like one of those like long-term metas that goes along trading. So like, I don't know, AI meta, there's always an AI, or like even like tech meta. There's always an AI tech project that comes out every few days that does really well. I think it's the same thing with CCM. Every once in a while, you're going to have a really good CCM launch, or a cool, unique live stream, or unique idea that'll do well. And Alan has been doing a great job of like integrating it into the app, and then just like all these trading platforms are adding new feeds, and they're definitely pushing it. And so I think it's gonna just be one of those long-term metas that's gonna be here to stay, and you can still make a lot of money off of it. I just think the initial wave of extraction kind of turned off a lot of people, so they have to set it up in a way where like, I don't know, maybe like verified creators, or like some way to make it more fun, and not just like, oh, I can launch a 30% bundle and full stack everyone at like plus 10 Sol, and then like put a farm at it. Like, I think that style of it, it's going to adapt, it's going to evolve, it's going to change somehow. And I think that the CCM coins that actually work out aren't going to be celebrities. It's not going to be like Johnny Sins coin, but it's going to be some random small guy who actually had a unique idea and has been using the live stream in a way that no one has seen before. Like kindness coins, stuff like that, like stuff that is unique and that isn't coming from someone with a lot of followers per se. Like that's the stuff that I think is going to work out, not just like some random Web2 guy coming in, shooting a couple streams, and then calling it a day.
Now, have you pivoted into doing, anything in crypto differently, or are you still kind of 100% in the trenches?
So I'm definitely still trenching every day, 5, 6, 7 hours a day. But I've been recently trying to focus a lot on content. So I'm doing like IRL blogs, a lot more live streaming. I grew ever since we talked my Twitch from like 200 followers to like 3K. So
Nice.
and really trying to like push more content out, because I think in the long term that's going to allow me to pivot to a bunch of different new things, and having an audience, you know, backing me is going to be pretty solid for that. And I'm also trying to like here and there size into some plays. Ever since I missed Aster, which like obviously the entire timeline is cooking on, I literally added like, hold on, 1, 2, yeah, I added like 15 channels to my Telegram, and I just started using Telegram because I was previously only on Discord, like in my FNFs or like on Twitch or whatever, and I just never looked at these like larger scale calls. And ever since Aster, like I don't want to miss that again, bro. I want to catch the next one. So I guess the new things are like focusing in on longer term plays, maybe holding a little longer, and then also just trying to push out as much content as possible, onboard people, and try to be the next, like, you know, Rez, TJ, or Orangie type of like figure for crypto.
And kind of just to reminisce, you know, from the good old days, I guess. What do you miss from the trenches last year? You know, and kind of if you want to add more into that, what do you think should be fixed now to make the trenches better?
I miss tweet plays so much. There was a moment where people would deploy, and like I just feel like we didn't take advantage of that. There was a moment where people would deploy coins with like a 3% dev.
Yep.
And it would be like, don't buy over dev unless like they have dev sold or under 5%. And a cool tweet comes out and you're the first to get in, and instantly you're up like a house. Like, I don't know if you've seen like Theonomics clips.
I do remember when he was, oh my gosh, those clips were insane.
That dopamine, I haven't gotten trenching in the past like 2 months. Like I haven't gotten the dopamine of like click on a coin and you're instantly up. Much harder now. And a coin, I feel like anytime you buy it, especially like in the past 2 weeks, it has to just survive like 15 soul worth of sell pressure, like a multi-wallet bundle of like 20, 30, 40 soul. And it's like, you know, they're still senders, but I miss that. I miss the buy Elon with cheese when he comes out on live stream wearing like a cheese hat and like you're instantly up fat. Like that stuff was so fun. And like, I guess like if everyone's trying to do it, obviously that's kind of where it goes. But I think it's also like a narrative thing where it's like people don't buy the same narratives anymore. Like it used to be where like, I don't know, a zoo would like get a new baby, like, I don't know, panda, and name it, and like that would instantly go to like a mill. And like obviously that was prime market from like even before what I'm talking about now. But just in general, that tweet play era was fun. What all of this is just us being in an inefficient market a year ago that gets more and more and more efficient. There are new ways to be quicker and better and faster, and so the market's going to evolve. And at one point you won't really be able to make money in the way that we do today, because that's the whole point of a efficient market, is that like it's so efficient that, you know, there are market inefficiencies where you can buy something and be up hundreds and hundreds of percentage. That's why we're able to do that, because the market was, you know, not perfected, not efficient.
Yeah, exactly. Now, when you're not trading, do you like to game, watch movies, hoop, or are you still kind of fully locked in? I know you just moved into your new crib, so
I'm definitely still very much locked in, but I have been slacking a little. Like I'll watch like anime. I've watched like Dan to Dan, Demon Slayer. That movie was so good. I've been doing trips too. Like I did the Bahamas trip. We did like an Orlando trip. So I've been going places, and yeah, you know, not really any sports yet, but I have no excuse because I have a nice gym. I need to get a haircut soon, so I'll go outside for that. I just like go eat at restaurants sometimes too. So
fire. Now I think I asked you this last time too, but I'm curious if it's changed. Who is on your meme coin trading Mount Rushmore?
West is definitely up there. Obviously Cup C. I mean, everyone's gonna say that, but still the GOAT. DV has been killing it. Scented. In terms of like long-term people that are less into like meme coins, but that I've like discovered through like just like longer term, like people like Qwerty, Rowdy, like Xander, like these guys are like goats. They will like not really be super public, or like they're not really trading new pairs, but like they make so much like Qwerty generational money on like these coins like Aster and these long-term holds.
Yeah, some really, really good traders. And kind of just like a lasting question. Do you enjoy what you do every day as much as the first day you started?
I still love it. I'm like in love with this because like I'm addicted too. I have that feeling of like I'm addicted to it and I love it. But I'll be like trenching and I'll rage so much more now. Like I don't know why, but I just like now have much bigger moments of just like crashing out on like charts because like specifically this week, bro, I would buy something and they would just full stack every single time. I'd buy like 15K, full stack, 20K, full stack, and I just like that's the worst way to lose. Like maybe a slow bleed like kind of sucks because it's just like slow pain, but just like a full evaporation of your 5 soul is just tough.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's very, very tough. It's gonna be an interesting next few months for sure. But and I still think there'll be runners. There will be things in the soul trenches for sure. I think it's just right now, just people being very selective. But once again, I really appreciate you coming on. I'll give you the stage, man, if you want to shout out anything you're working on or what you got coming up in the future with content.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say follow me on YouTube, on X. Literally just go to ethanprosper.com and you have all of my links and just follow me on everything. I'm literally on Twitch every day. I'm trying to post as many YouTube videos as possible, and my go-to hub is always going to be X or Twitter. So ethanprosper.com. Literally, that's like where everything is.
Perfect, bro. I appreciate it again, man. And for everyone watching, please go show them some love. And that concludes Trench Talk episode.